Hello and welcome to a Team Moray Robotics video. Recently I went to the October 2024 NHRL event as a spectator, and I just wanted to make a video going over my experience. So for anyone who isn't familiar with NHRL, it stands for National Havoc Robot League, and it's a combat robot event held in Norwalk, Connecticut. It's by far one of the biggest robot combat events in the world. They have an event about every 2 months, and it just keeps getting bigger every year. NHRL is one of the few combat robot events that's held in a building used exclusively for robot combat. All of the events are streamed on the NHRL and Brett Zone YouTube channel, and the streams are by far the highest quality robot combat event streams. I like to watch one stream over the course of a few weeks so that I have quality robot fighting content to watch for most of the year. NHRL has become very popular with their YouTube shorts, and that's great because people are discovering how cool and accessible robot combat is through their shorts and videos. The event I went to had over 100 robots competing across their 3 weight classes: the 3-pound beetle weights, the 12-pound hobby weights, and the 30-pound feather weights. NHRL is one of the most competitive events in the robot combat community, so there's always a ton of highly optimized and meta robots, as well as a lot of new and unique designs trying something new or designed to counter the current meta. NHRL is famous for also having a wide variety of fun robots that aren't necessarily designed to win fights, but just to entertain the audience and be really fun to watch. Positively Hysterical is the most well-known robot like this, and it had a flamethrower and a bunch of other crazy attachments this time. There was even an exhibition match between a flamethrower and 4 different versions of Positively Hysterical that was one of the funniest battles of the event. My favorite for fun robot is definitely Mr. Roper, the 30-pound angry toolbox with wrench hammer arms. This time he even had my favorite 12-pounder Nightcrawler with him. Mr. Roper actually beat Jeff Waters at this event, and he also qualified for the World Championships. And international superstar Tony Clifton is always very fun to watch. The robot with the perfect mix of fun and functionality has to be the Power of Friendship, the multi-bot team of 2 overhead drills with googly eyes. I'm so glad they did really well, and I think I saw all their fights in person. Every single time they had a chance to use the drills, everyone watching cheered for them. And I actually 3D printed little models of the Power of Friendship to give to the builder Kokoto because I love his fun robots and his YouTube channel, which you should definitely check out. There were so many robots that had a fun and unique design, but were also highly competitive, like Buffalo Wings, Supreme Ruler, The Wall Part 2, Monkfish, and then my favorite beetle weight, the overhead saw, Mako. I'd say that the highlights of the event were watching Mako and the Power of Friendship, as well as seeing Warhard XXL in person. Every time that robot fought, something got decimated or hit into the ceiling or both. Watching a 30-pound robot throw another 30-pound robot around so violently was just incredible to be cage side for. And there was actually a fight between Warhard and Mr. Roper that didn't make it onto the stream, but I recorded the whole fight and it was absolutely insane. And I was standing right up next to the cage, so I'll put that out as a separate video so you can see the fight. And then as far as I know, I've been to Slam Plan's only 2 events, and he won Motorama earlier this year, so maybe he just needs me there to win fights. NHRL is very unique because of the amount of arenas they have. There were 6 different arenas that regularly had fights in them, so there was almost always a fight to watch. I also went to the January 2023 event, and they didn't have it then, but there's now a screen that lists the fights that are coming up in what cages, and it was very helpful to decide where I wanted to go next. I could always see what was going on in the arena, and my view was never completely blocked because you can view each cage from multiple different angles. I had the VIP tickets, which are definitely worth buying because you get to stand right next to one of the big cages, you get unlimited snacks and drinks, and you have much easier parking. If there was a break in the fights, or if you just wanted to take a break, there were also plenty of other activities. There was even a cage where you could pay to drive a robot, which I didn't do because I have a robot, but kids could get a chance to drive a fully operational Peter Bar kit. The Sparky store had a lot of great merchandise, including specific team stickers, plush bots, as well as the Mr. Roper Timeless Classics and Golden Hits Volume 1 CD. The event did go significantly later than it said, but you can leave and re-enter the building whenever you want. The only real negative about the event is the VIP tour. When I went in January, the tour was a lot better and more informative, and it was much easier to hear the tour guide. This time, I could barely hear most of what the tour guide said, and it was a lot less informative. It just kind of pointed out things that we could already have seen, and then it briefly walked up into the pits. And unfortunately, the tour guide was not one of the commentators that you see on stream. The guide said that they had very limited tour guides that day and that the tour had to go quickly, so clearly it was very chaotic, and hopefully that was just a problem with that day, and that future tours will be better. I think smaller group sizes would definitely help with the issue. And then the only other slightly negative thing I found was that they removed several robots from the bot museum. They still had some of the most prominent battle bots on display and NHRL robots, but multiple robots that were there the first time I went were missing. This time though, a giant pause was staring at me for most of the day. So is it really worth going to NHRL? Yes, it's definitely worth going. It was very fun, and I mean, it's a full day of robot fighting, and you don't have to stay for the whole thing. So yeah, it's definitely worth going to NHRL if you're able to.